Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the channel. Sylvia here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make two variations of fabric roses. So if you're interested in learning this, keep on watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications so you are notified when I drop a new video. So to begin with this tutorial, we're going to need a piece of fabric. Mine measures 4 inches wide. So with the length, it doesn't really matter, it just depends on the size of rose you are going for, but mine measures 34 inches in length, so 4 by 34 is what we have here. So you can do 3 by whatever length, 3 inches by whatever length. You can do 2.5 inch. It just depends on the size of rose you are going for. So now you want to make a slant at the beginning of your fabric and then sew along the edge beginning from that slant. So you can see your fabric kind of give a twirl shape. It's like folding and gathering in some way. This is good because this is what we will be needing for our roses. So we're just going to sew along the edge all the way down to the end of the fabric. Okay, so after sewing all the way to the end of the fabric, this is what we have. This is what our fabric is looking like. So now for variation 1, you can go ahead and cut off this excess, or you can just fold it in like I did. So we're going to be folding it in this way and just wrap around, making sure that you are holding the edge, the sewn edge. Just wrap your fabric around, keep on wrapping it around tightly as you form the shape of the rose that you want. So we're just going to continue doing that all the way to the end, and you can see the way it is giving shape to the rose. So for this first variation, the rose is more high up and compacted. It is more high up. It's a high kind of rose, just like your normal rose flower, right? And variation 2 is kind of like not that high of a flower, but like more flat. And yeah, the both roses look beautiful, but they would serve different purposes. So you can see the way I'm doing here, just wrapping around all the way to the end of the fabric. So now you can either hold it tightly like this in your hand and sew the bottom part with a needle and thread, or you can pin it in place and then go ahead to sew it with a needle and thread. Or you can place fabric glue, not regular fabric glue, like the hot glue, because that one dries faster. You can place your hot glue in between as you wrap around, or you just secure it with a needle and thread. Here you can see me just securing mine with pins before I went ahead to sew with a needle and thread. And this is what the fabric rose is looking like for variation 1. So as you can see, it's a high rose, like I was saying earlier. So now for variation 2, I'm just going to be trimming off the excess fabric because I don't want it to get in the way of my sewing. So now variation 2, we'll start up by sewing it with a needle and thread. So we're going to be using our needle to kind of gather up the fabric. So you can see the way it is. Gather up the fabric and fold the gathers inwards. So we're going to be wrapping the fabric around itself but with gathers. All right, so we're going to be gathering up fabric, like take your needle past your fabric like 3 times and then draw it to create gathers, and then take your needle through an upper part of the fabric. I don't know if I'm doing a good job explaining this, but please just pay attention to what I'm doing. So let me give it another try with the explanation. You want to take your needle facing towards yourself and pick your fabric 3 times, and then draw on your thread so the fabric gathers up, and then you are going to take your needle past rows. You're already forming rows at a higher length, so that when you draw up the fabric, it's like it's covering, wrapping around the rows, covering it up. So it's basically a combination of gathering your fabric and wrapping it around itself. I just hope this video is slow enough so you guys can actually grasp and get what I'm doing here. So we're going to continue with this method till we get our desired size of rows, or till we get to the end of the fabric. So I don't know if you have already noticed, but the way I am sewing this rose as we are getting to the end of the fabric is kind of covering up the rough edges. So I'm doing that on purpose. I'm actually intentional about that. I'm covering up the rough edges of the fabric with the last few inches of the fabric for the rose. And then this is what variation 2 is looking like. I made it a little bit kind of loose, but it was still firm and secure. So it is not as high as variation 1. It's kind of flat, but it's also pretty. Each roses can serve for different purposes. So yeah, that's it for this tutorial on fabric roses. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and make sure to turn on post notifications. See you guys in the next one. Bye.